Today is the feast of Corpus Christi, a day of thanksgiving for the institution of Holy Communion. I have my own memories of Corpus Christi as a colourful event in my childhood. There would be outdoor processions and a long line of children in our best clothes, having raided our granny's gardens, sprinkling flower petals on the ground as the procession went along. It felt all rather mystical and magical. As children, we couldn't have grasped the full meaning of such an event beyond the colour and wonder, and I, along with a whole bunch of other 7-year-olds, believed that we had just eaten the body of Christ at our first Holy Communion. Our Gospel today is from John chapter 6, when Jesus declares himself as the living bread that came down from heaven. Jesus said, "Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood abide in me, and I in them." The early church struggled with the meaning of such words. Lots of very clever, devout people spent a lot of time talking about it and writing about it. People like Cyril of Jerusalem, Ignatius of Antioch, Justin Martyr, and Augustine of Hippo, all trying to figure out what the words, "this is my body," meant. And even centuries after that, I remember reading about these two particular monks in the 9th century at the same monastery in Corby, France. They had similar sounding names but highly different views on what Jesus' words meant. One believed that the bread and wine were the body and blood of Christ in reality, and the other that they were symbols of Christ's body and blood. That debate over real presence remains an issue of contention today. But whatever our church traditions, as followers of Christ, we all have this in common: the need to be willing to cast all our life into the treasury of God. Then perhaps we can experience the transformation St. Augustine experienced and wrote about. He heard the voice of Jesus from on high telling him, "Grow and you will feed on me. And you will not change me into you like food that your flesh eats, but you will be changed into me." In the Eucharist, Christ comes to be with us, and through his presence to unite us to God and to one another. Now, whether we believe in that spiritually or physically is, I think, not the issue. Rather, does seeking Christ in the Mass help us to find God in the world, in our daily lives? And does that transform us into a people who love mercy, act justly, and walk humbly?